Hello everyone, I am Warpex, and I'm going to do a quick demo tutorial on how to do vocals on top of AI instrumentals. I've done this a couple times on a bunch of songs. Night's Blue, I just did a music video on that one, and a couple other ones that are on my channel. Star Monster, and a few other ones that are a little bit older. So yeah, if you've got a song you made on Suno and you really want to replace the instruments with your own, take a listen. Maybe you'll learn something new here, and it's kind of fun. You can try something new. If you're ever interested, you can join the Cyber Metal Radio Discord as well, and that's where we help collaborate on metal music and metal AI music, and we can talk and goof around. I'm not sure what I'm talking about anymore. All right, let's get into it. Let's see. I picked a song. First thing first, you're going to need to pick a song, and I picked a particular song which is one of my favorites that I had written. It's an older one called Specularity Aspect. It is older, v3.5. Suno, as the time of this recording, is on v4.5 plus. So I had taken the liberty to remaster this. I already did that off camera, don't worry. I don't have to sit here and wait for it. But anyway, wanted to remaster it so we can get higher quality instrumentals. I don't care about the vocals because we're going to remove those, but the instrumentals are what I care about. From there, we're going to get the stems. Highly recommend doing all detected stems. Previously, Suno had a stem extraction feature which was awful. They recently released this new stem extraction feature, and it's amazing. Highly recommend doing the all stems because it'll give you a ton of different stems, all the instruments separated, so you can kind of adjust the volume of each one, maybe put different effects on each one, and really dial in your music and mixing, whereas if you just do vocals and instruments, you're not getting that. You won't have the control, and you won't be able to mix your vocals into the song as easily. Again, I already did this, so I'm not going to waste too much time looking at it. And once you get your stems, you're going to get a folder with all the different stems inside of it. Then just drag and drop those stems into your DAW. So for this, I'm going to use Audacity. I know Audacity is not the best program for this, but it is probably the easiest one to learn, and it's free, completely free. And actually, you can really make some cool stuff. I mentioned Night's Blue. I did that one in Audacity. I have started using Reaper, and a couple of my songs that I've released are in Reaper. But honestly, the sound isn't much different between the two. Biggest difference I've noticed is Audacity doesn't have real time. I think it does now, but it doesn't have as good of real time effects as Reaper does. So whenever you make a change on any of these instruments, it's going to impact the actual waveform, and you can't really roll that back easily, unless you had saved like a duplicate copy of your vocals. You also don't really have that historical knowledge of like what order I did everything in, so you kind of have to write all that down. Like, I did this first, then this, then this, then this. So it can get cumbersome. Definitely recommend Reaper. Probably is the better option for this. But we're going to use Audacity for this one, and maybe we'll do a Reaper one down the line at some point. So anyway, we got our song, got all the different things in here. Like I said, it'll extract a bunch of different stems and give you all these really cool stems, and then you can turn things on and off at will. So yeah, moves right there. This is now just my song without any vocals. And the stem is great. I mean, before you could really tell where the vocals were supposed to be, and it didn't do a good job of fixing that. But now, you still hear a little bit of artifacting, but it's not nearly as bad as it used to be. It's pretty good. Especially when we put our vocals on top of this, it's going to be much more difficult to tell. Okay, so let's see. These are some vocal lines that I had recorded a long time ago. I don't actually think they're particularly good. I might do some new ones on top here just to give a taste of what's going on. I think think I'll just do the chorus. Yeah, I'm not particularly good. I don't know that I'll do any better today because I really haven't warmed up my vocals at all. Sorry, I just put this up so I have the lyrics because it's been a little while since I've sung this one. Yeah, this might go really poorly. We'll see what happens. But here, the great part about this is I had turned off the AI vocals, but you can turn them back on whenever you want. Actually, I want to stay in the chorus. Become the aspect of specularity, reflect and shine so bright, stuck here in this life of polarity. Your path is forged, not set. Renounce the draw of popularity. Compromise your life. Specularity is bad. Okay, there's a little bit of layering on that one. So this particular one, I'm going to want to record. And this is why I have actually two different takes here. Is there's a little bit of layering here, so I'm going to want to do the layers separately on this in order to get a good sound. Because you want to make sure you get when there's a note that's held out, you want to continue that note and then have your other vocals come in on top of that. So I'm going to make sure that when I record this, I'm doing that. So in Audacity, it's super easy to record. You're going to hit this big red button here on the top, and it's going to automatically create a new line and start recording. So you got to be quick and ready to do your vocals once you hit this big red button. Am I ready? That's the question. Become the aspect of specularity, stuck in this life of polarity. Renounce the draw of popularity. Specularity aspect. Okay, that might be a lot better. Become the aspect of specularity, stuck in this life of polarity. Yeah, see, now you just turn those vocals off, the old vocals off, and now it's just my own. Now, remember when I said I had to layer this, so I'm going to mute this, and I need to do a second part to layer this on top. Personally, now not everyone likes doing this. Personally, and I've already done this, but I like having the original vocals on as I sing it. It helps me with my timing. Although when you do that, I know I say it helps with timing. I have noticed that sometimes you could come in a little late. But the greatest thing about this is it doesn't really matter. I can just adjust the timing by moving this clip. So let's do the second layer here. Become the aspect of specularity. Reflect and shine so bright. Your path is forged and set. Don't compromise your life. Specularity aspect. Don't compromise your life. Specularity aspect. Okay, I wanted to go a little higher there because I thought maybe it would sound cool when these two are together. Specularity aspect. Yeah, that does sound pretty cool. So. Alright, I got my vocals. I'm just going to delete these extra ones because I don't feel like they help me at all. I liked these other takes better. Become the aspect of specularity, reflect and shine so bright, stuck in this life of polarity. Your path is forged and set. Renounce the draw of popularity. Don't compromise your life. Specularity aspect. So now we're going to get to the interesting part, which is going to be doing some mixing and mastering of this. So I've got some, like I said, I wrote out my mix and mastering steps. First thing I did was a DS, which I'm not sure I need on this particular, I don't think I particularly need this on growls. Honestly, I think probably fine, but I'll do a little DS and maybe I'll just go a little bit lighter on this. So this is the Muse FX plugin, by the way. It's a free plugin. Just get it. There's no reason not to have it. It's free. It does not come with Audacity by default. You do need to download it, but it's completely free, and it's part of the the plugin manager that does come with Audacity. So it literally just get it. It's great. It's pretty good. So I'm going to take the DS a little bit lower, just to DS that a little bit, and I'll repeat DS on the other one. So I did the DS already, and I probably should have told you what it does. DS does exactly what it sounds like. It removes S's. Not necessarily remove them, it just makes them less harsh, because S's always have like a harsh tone on when recorded. So it'll helps prevent that harsh tone. You know, this particular part really bothers me. I don't feel my vocals were necessarily bad there, but it's just a little quiet. So I'm going to amplify the vocals here. See if that helps. This whole one, though, I'm going to reduce the volume here on the second one, because this is supposed to be kind of backing vocals, and it feels a little too loud to me. We're going to do a compressor next, which will compress the audio a little bit. I don't really know the technical terms of this. I've figured all this stuff out on my own. I don't necessarily know the exact terminology. Yeah, so doing a compressor on this will compress things just a little and make things a little bit more even, make the vocals or the sound more even, so it's not as lumpy. I don't know, best way to describe it, I guess. So you'll see when I do it. So my notes say to do a smack explosion. I just took the preset and did that. Probably. Yeah. So I'm going to do that same one over here. It kind of saves your most recent. Now that's going to be really loud, but that's okay. Okay. So next thing I was going to do is in Muse FX down here, you can do masters. So I'm going to master this, and I enjoy a particular one called firm bass. I didn't write how many dots I usually do, but firm bass, particularly on death metal vocals like this, kind of really gives it a little bit more of a baritone. Repeat master on that one. You know what I probably should have done, and I didn't do? Probably should remove all this here. You kind of need to highlight it, and then up here you can press this this little button here, which silences audio between. Just in case I had like rogue clicks. Like mouse clicks or noises. It'll remove it completely. It gets exaggerated as you start doing more and more work on the... I should have done that. More and more work on this. Like as you see, these was a very quiet part of the song originally, but the more the compressor really exaggerated these particular moments between the songs. So I just want to remove those. All right, so I did firm bass, simple. Next up was an EQ, and again I did a firm bass, a bass EQ on this. Obviously, you can do something different for every type of vocals that you're doing. It's kind of just the aspect of specularity, reflecting shines on price. Yeah, that's sounding pretty cool. Obviously, way too loud. We're gonna work on that, but sounding really cool. It gives the you can hear the bass that was added into that and the deepness, which is what I want on death metal vocals like this. Reverb is what I want to add next. I use the artificial preset. On the aspect of specularity, reflecting shines on price. Stalker in this life of polarity, your math is force upset. Yeah, That's sounded pretty cool. That reverb on the background just gives it a little bit of an extra, like layer underneath the vocals. And right now it's very loud. So when you heard that, it was real loud. But like I said, once we tone this down, you're not really going to hear that anymore. You're going to kind of maybe get some. You're going to get that like the extra depth when you hear this, but you're not necessarily going to be able to point it out so easily as you can right now. What is next? All right. So next on my list was, like I said, I had a list. Play around with this. You kind of got to play around with this the way you want to play around with it. For whatever reason, I have this listed next. Do a modern compressor on top after, and that will make this, will then obviously make this much smaller and quieter. Cool. Yeah, that's sounding really cool now. A couple other things that I wanted to do was, let me see. There's definitely some other different options you can do. I have on here to do another master. I don't know if this is going to work out. I don't know particularly if I want to do this one. I'll try it though. I can always go back. Always roll the change back if you don't like it. I think I liked it better before. I think I liked it better before. So yeah, I just rolled that back with an undo. I just undid that, and sometimes that's what you got to do is just undo and keep it moving. Let me do one last thing on this. MuseFX, the compress plugin, Vocal Ride. Now, there's a preview here. Based on the aspect of specularity. Actually, I'll take that down a little bit. Based on the aspect of specularity. Reflected shots of nice. Yeah, that sounds really cool. So now I want to go through the instruments now and start to do similar things to the instruments, because as you kind of can tell right now, it kind of just feels like the instruments are behind the vocals. I kind of want them to stick a little bit better and feel a little bit more attached. The vocals feel more attached to the song and less separated. Okay. A couple things that I like doing. What is this? The FX. I don't know what these FX are. There's some weird effects. I might just do. It's just one. I think that's pretty similar to the drums. So I'll just do whatever the drums were. So I'm going to do an effect, Pro EQ, some organic drums on that. Do the same here. Because obviously they're artificial drums, so the more organic you can make them sound, I think really helps. Bass, yeah, I just did studio bass here for the EQ. Oh, guitars. Yeah, do a couple things on guitars, because guitars for me are the most important part. Do EQ on this as well. I don't know, what would be a good one? Be tight. like the other one better. Tame rumble. That's more what I'm looking for here. Yeah, okay. Do a tame rumble because I really want that deeper sound on this particular song. And then I want to add some distortion onto this. Because it'll make it sound a little more authentic with additional distortion on top of it. Let's see how this will sound. A little too much distortion. I did like that, but a little too much. Okay. Yeah, so additional distortion. Still sounds like the vocals are a little too loud, but that's alright, that's easy to fix. Still kind of feels a little bit off, so I'm going to do a reverb on the guitars as well. Maybe the exact same reverb, honestly. Try to get it sound like everything's in the same space, you know, and not separated. I'll do the same here with the drums and the bass as well. Kind of want it all to sound like it's coming from that same room and not from separate locations, you know. I don't care about the FX. I feel like the drums are too quiet. I'll pump the drums up a little bit. Yeah, you know what? I'm not loving the guitars, just don't have the presence I want, so I'm going to try something here. I'm going to duplicate this. If I remember how to do that. There it is. Duplicate. So here's what I'm going to try here. That's going to put it on the bottom, which is super, super annoying, especially if you have a lot of takes. Anyway, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put one of these on the left and one of these on the right. This is going to be much louder, so I'm going to reduce the volume here significantly. Yeah, that's pretty good. Last thing I'm going to do, whoa, that's not what I want to do, was select everything, tracks, mix and render to a new track. So that's going to put all of our tracks together into one. And once it's all together, I'm going to mute everything. Mute. Probably was a better way to do this. I could have just done solo on that, but whatever. Alright, so I got this one track effect. We're going to do one last master. We're going to do I like more exciting. I don't know. For my instruments and what I do, more exciting is great. Alright, that's all we got. If you enjoyed this, you want to see more, like and comment. Let me know if you want me to do more of these. If you want me to do one in Reaper, gladly do that. This is Specularity Aspect, a song I really do like. One day I'm actually going to finish the vocals on this. I don't know if this is going to be the chorus. I think actually worked out pretty well. I kind of liked doing the highs and the lows at the same time on the Specularity Aspect part. Worked out pretty good. but I have to re-record the whole song still, and this process of just doing that chorus there needs to be repeated for everything. And when you start doing a lot of takes, this can really get time consuming, you know. Anyway, hope you learned something. See you next time.